Hello everyone, this short video is to show you how to create a simple commit message for our Linux kernel teaching project. Uh, um, let's assume that you already cloned the project and you found some mistakes and you want to fix them. For us, let's find some simple mistakes. First of all, let's see where are the sources for our lab. So the documentation is in the documentation teaching, and here we have the lectures, the labs, and other resources. And the source code is in tools, labs, and you'll find here the scripts, templates, and everything you need to know in order to get started with learning about Linux kernel. So let's try to find an error or something to fix inside our first lab. A very useful tool which checks for static errors is this check patch tool, and we will use it on a file. So we put -f and we'll give this strict option, and we'll try to find it inside, find the error inside documentation, teaching labs, and our first lab name is kernel modules. And you will see here that we have some spelling mistakes. So instead of writing, we could write it's extra T here, and let's fix that. Documentation, teaching labs, kernel module. Let's find this writing. Okay, this is error, and then we will have one more. Check patch figures that netconsole, because it's written repeatedly, could be an error, but this is not really an error because this is a command. So an actual error is this. The correct version is a user, and we'll fix it. And right now, we just fixed those two problems. If we run again the check patch, we will only get this error, which is basically is valid text. It's a false positive, and we'll create a commit for the errors we have found. So you see here, this one is fixed, and this one is fixed. And now it comes to the main part of our video, and that's about how to create a good commit message. So first, we'll add the file to the staging area, and then we create a commit using git commit command, and also always add -s, which -s will add this signed off by line, which certifies that this patch is made by you. Now, first thing that we want to do is to understand how a commit message looks like, and a good resource for this is this tutorial about how to write a good commit message. Give it a read. It's very interesting read. And the first rule here says that the body and the subject should be separated by a new line, right? So add a new line between subject and body. If you don't add a new line, in my editor, the second line, which is wrong here, will be highlighted, but not all editors do that. So just please add a new line here. Then make sure that the subject line is not very large. Here the recommendation is 15 characters. I think my editor also warns you at some point if you got over, right? So if you get over this, my editor will warn you, and it's at 50. But usually nowadays it's hard to add the commit message inside 50 characters. So I would say you can go easily with 70 here. This is just a matter of taste. Just don't add too many characters on this side. Too many, I think, would be something over 72, I think. Yeah, I think that's too much. Next, the body of the commit message also has a limit. Not sure if my editor, yeah, you see my editor auto wraps it. And the recommendation here is to go around 70 characters. I think we are fine with that. Next, the subject should indicate somehow what is the subsystem where this patch applies to. And if we look, for example, inside sound, you will notice that each commit here starts with a prefix saying that commit is in the ALSA or ALSA on a SOC subsystem. So we should also try to stick to this rule. So in our case, a good place to start is to have a look at previous commits which were done on this file and see which kind of prefix the other developer used. As you can see, there are multiple ways of adding prefixes: documentation, teaching labs, kernel module. This one would be the most correct one, but I'm afraid that this is too long, so you won't have much space left for the rest of the subject. So I think we can go with documentation, labs, kernel modules, and we add here fix spelling or fix typos in order. And then now it's another important thing is that you need to explain why the commit is needed and not what and how it does it. I mean, sometimes if the implementation is complex, it's okay to say it in words, how is it done, but usually how and what should be very obvious from the code, while the commit message should explain why the code is needed, right? So here the code is needed because make code easier to read and understand by fixing two typos. Another important thing is that always you need to use the imperative mode in the subject line. So you don't say here, you don't say fixed typos here, right? This is past tense. You just say fixed typos, like you were giving commands. You see, imperative mode just means like this, right? So always remember, do not say added something, just say add. Okay, that's all. Now we have our commit, and now we can have a look at how is displayed here. You see, this is the subject, this is the body of the commit, and this is the actual modification that it's done on the source code. And I think that's all. We'll create another video explaining how to create pull request on the kernel labs repo.